So we can take anything from the outside bracket to inside the bracket. This is called expansion. If we do the reverse, it is called factorization. Factorization is generally harder and less obvious than expansion, but it is still doable. What you need to do when you factorize is just to see what is common between your terms and then simply take whatever is common to the outside of the bracket. So if I have something like 3x plus 3y, you should easily see that what is common between the two terms is a 3. So I'm going to take the 3 out, outside the bracket. Once I've taken the 3 out of both of these terms, what I have left is simply an x plus a y. And that is factorization. The issue comes when you have something less obvious. So I might have something more difficult, so something like 6x cubed y squared plus 8x 4y plus 10x y to the power of 3. Now, for those people who can see what is common between all of these, power to you. You don't need this video at all. But for those of you that cannot see what is common between all three terms, the brute force way, and probably the easiest way, although it's very long, is just simply write each term out in its simplest form, in its simplest factors. 6 can be written. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code this. So 6 8 and 10. So my 6x cubed y squared can be written as 6 can be written as 2 times 3 as its most basic factors. X cubed is x times itself 3 times. Y squared is y times itself twice. Plus 8. Look at my green pen. 8 can be expressed as a factor of 2 times 2 times 2 as its most basic factors. X to the power of 4 can be expressed as x times x times x times x. Y is just 1y. And finally, the last term of your expression, 10, can be expressed as 2 times 5 as its most basic factor. X is just x, y cubed is y times y times y. So once you have broken down your expression into its most basic form, you can then look at what is common between each one. And then when you see what is common, you're simply going to cross out the common things. So I have a 2 that is common, so I'm going to cross a 2 out of each term. I have an x that is common, so I'm going to cross out an x from each term. I can't cross out another x because there's no more x on the last term. I have a y that is common, so I'm going to cross out a y from each term. I can't cross out this y because there's no y's in this expression. And that is all the common things I have in my equation, in my expression. Once I've gotten to this step, I'm going to write out whatever is common. In other words, I'm going to write whatever I crossed out to the outside of the brackets. So I've crossed out a 2, I've crossed out an x, and I've crossed out a y. So that goes to the outside of my brackets. Whatever is left that I haven't crossed out will go into the inside of my bracket. So I've got 3, I have 2 x's, plus, oh, I'm missing a y, my apologies. So 2 x's and a y, plus, I have a 2 left here. I have 1, 2, 3 x's left here, and no y's. Plus, I have a 5 left that I haven't crossed out, and I have 2 y's, 1, 2. So that is my equation factorized. I can then make this a bit nicer, a bit tidier by combining my powers. So 2xy bracket 3, x times x is x squared, plus 2x times x times x is x cubed, plus y times y, which is y squared. And this is my final answer for from factorizing this equation.